For the minutes for the work session on March the 5th.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Need a motion for approval of the March 5th regular council meeting minutes.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Okay.
All right. Mayor's message, Mr. Reed.
Good afternoon, President. Good afternoon, council members,
Good afternoon.
citizens at large, city employees. All right. First, I want to start off with announcing the Neighborhood Access and Equity Grant Program. As you all know, last week, Mayor Reed announced the United States Department of Transportation awarded the city of Montgomery a $36.6 million grant. This grant funding is the largest competitive federal grant that the city has ever received. The city will use this grant primarily in historic West Montgomery to reverse the persistent effects of segregation, redlining, and the construction of Interstates 65 and 85. The mayor's aim is to enhance public open spaces, increase safety, and access to public safety amenities, broadband connectivity, zero emissions transportation options, workforce transportation, microtransit, wayfinding enhancements, and investments in future development. Work on the project will begin this fall. Key elements and infrastructure improvements within the project include redeveloping a local brownfield site into an EV charging station and microgrid, repaving, striping, and adding bike lane and landscaping on West Fairview Avenue from Interstate 65 underpass to the Mobile Highway intersection and Highway 80. Establishing a electronic vehicle workforce microtransit site and workforce training hub to provide consistent routes to Hyundai, the Inland Port, downtown, Lagoon Park Industrial Park, hospitals, and other high-demand employers. Adding intelligent technology such as smart lighting, closed-circuit cameras, and Wi-Fi hotspots along Mobile Street, South Holt Street, West Fred Gray Avenue, Oak Street, and West Fairview Avenue. Laying down an extensive fiber optic infrastructure, upgrading bus stops and covered shelters, enhancing navigation with historic markers and wayfinding kiosks, and creating more than 2 miles of sidewalks. Now I'd like to switch over to upcoming events. Over the next month, Montgomery will host a number of events that will draw visitors from around the world. The highlights, of course, will be the U.S. Olympic Trials at Whitewater and the Maxwell Air Force Base Air Show and Open House, Navy Week, and the opening of EJI's new sculpture garden. However, there are several events to come in the days leading up that we would like to bring to your attention. On Thursday, March 21, our Neighborhood Services Department will host the Mayor's annual neighborhood banquet at Fraser Church on Atlanta Highway. Doors open at 5 p.m. with dinner and the awards program starting at 6. On Saturday, March 23rd, at 8 o'clock p.m. at Riverwalk Amphitheater, the city will host the annual This Side of the Bridge celebration. This year's commemoration will feature Grammy Award-winning gospel singer Leandra Johnson. Lastly, on March 30th, the city will be hosting 2 free Easter-related events, the Move Montgomery 5K Bunny Hop and the Easter Extravaganza. Additional details about these events are available on the city's website, montgomeryal.gov. Now I'll pass it over to Ms. Beeville for the financial update.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Good evening, council.
Good evening.
As Mayor Reed promised at the last council meeting, on his behalf, I'm going to brief you on what the financial position of the city is projected to look at by September 30th of the current fiscal year. This report is based on data as of February 29th. Please be reminded that the comparison of budget to actual for revenue and expenditures is only a forecast based on the data that was available at that time. Hopefully, as the fiscal year progresses, the following slide, which is already up on the big screen, will reflect greater growth than what you are seeing today. So, the budget to actual projection, as you see there on the screen, of revenue reflects that there's about $750,000 above the total budgeted revenue, which is about $311.3 million. Projected growth in revenue is not quite as robust as it was during the same period in the previous year. Sales and use tax revenue constitutes about 50% of total revenue budgeted for the general fund. This revenue source in FY 2023 had nearly a 12% growth rate during the same period, whereas the growth rate is about half of that amount at this point in time. However, the good news is that as of February, about 96% of our ad valorem tax revenue had been collected, and it is expected that this revenue source will exceed budget since we are looking at only 5 months into the fiscal year for collections. And as you know, ad valorem revenue, the biggest bulk of it comes in late December all the way up through probably February, but it still trickles in throughout the year. Finally, business license revenue is also trending high, with about 93% of the budgeted amount being collected as of the end of February. Expenditures in the current year, budget to actual, are projected to be under the break-even point due to attrition, which means that there will be some savings on the expenditure side of the equation due to vacancies that were not filled on October 1. As of February, it is projected that savings from attrition will be about $4 million. That amount, combined with the projected revenue, less any deficits we may have due to various capital projects, will contribute about $3.5 million to the city's fund balance or the city's reserve. And with that, that's the conclusion of today's presentation on the financial position of the city as of the data that we had on February 29th.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bayville. Anybody
you.
have any questions of Mr. Reed and Ms. Bayville? No questions? All right, we're moving on.
Thank you.
All right, just want to make this announcement. A lot of people talk about there's nothing to do in Montgomery. Tonight we have Auburn versus South Alabama at Riverwalk Stadium tonight at 6, and the University of Alabama at Alabama State baseball game at ASU Stadium. So we're going to try to flow out of here so y'all can get out there and throw out the first pitch. All right? Next level volleyball, sponsored by Mr. Samaski, Councillor Samaski.
To the Honorable Mayor Reed, good evening, councilmen and women.
Good
We're
evening.
representing Next Level Volleyball Club. Next Level Volleyball Club is a volleyball club that's been in business since 2022. We started off small, and now we have over 64 girls. Next Level Volleyball Club is a vision come to life that is dedicated to the development of athletes, of character, coaching lifelong skills, instilling a passion for the game of volleyball in a positive environment. We want our players to be given an opportunity to learn the game of volleyball at the highest possible level while simultaneously learning the importance of life lessons of teamwork, commitment, time management, sportsmanship, and dependability. Our players will come to know the importance of giving their best effort to the things that are important to them and carry forward the values and that we share for the betterment of their lives. At Next Level, we share the complete student-athlete full circle. Now that we're in the middle of our travel season, we have an opportunity to go to nationals. And our founder, Cambria Darby, I'm Stacy Lancaster, by the way, will speak on the financials.
Good evening. So we are going to nationals this year. We did pretty good this season. We're with 4 tournaments in now, and my 18s have won our first tournament in January, and our 15s have made it to the gold bracket 3 times. So in June of this year, June 16th to the 20th, we're going to Orlando, Florida. It's gonna roughly cost us $12,000 for both teams to go to New Orleans and one to go to Orlando.
Yeah, and so, Mr. President, I just wanted to invite, first off, there's a couple of things. Number one, Next Level Volleyball operates out of the Floyd Community Center, repurposing a space that I think is really important in a neighborhood, an area that's really important. Really appreciate the work that Parks and Rec has done to accommodate them over there. And also just, how many people are in the program again?
64.
64.
From all over the city, from Carver, Goodwin, Brubaker, Floyd, different girls from all over the city.
So just wanted to give the council the opportunity to get introduced to this program. It's a unique program. It's a sport that's growing extremely fast. I asked the council to consider today supporting their endeavors in trying to make it to nationals. Obviously, one of the hardest parts about being in travel sports is some of the expenses, and so I thought today would be a good opportunity for you all to meet with them and consider their requests. There you go.
Also say thank you.
Yeah.
And I do want to say thank you because y'all did give us a nice size check for our volleyball nets, and they loved it. With the nice little next level on the sides, our girls are very ecstatic about it.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
So at that appropriate time, I guess we'll make those donations. They are a vendor?
They are a vendor.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go to the baseball game.
Yeah, we wrote them a check.
They're not on my list. Did they go to Parks and Rec or through Floyd Community?
No, I mean I got a check from them in my box. Bought their
Okay.
nets.
Are they just a regular vendor, which means 501c3? They're not on my 501c3 list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're a regular vendor.
Regular vendor? Okay. All right. Any special committees reward? All right. We have no one on the public committee. All right, item number 1.
Mr. President, we're going to carry this till the next meeting.
Okay. Since it's okay.
Y'all was supposed to wait till I read it.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
That's okay. Item 2, review of Midtown Oaks Apartment, 3543 Carter Hill Road.
Now, can I say, can we carry this to the next meeting?
Yes.
My apologies.
I read number 2.
Oh,
I went ahead and carried that one over.
Okay. All right, item number 2, we haven't heard from them, so at this, I'm gonna send a letter to the Finance and the Licenses Division, and we're gonna ask for some, about the licenses, and we'll do something on some inspection to see if we can get them before the councils on that property.
Okay.
All right.
And it would probably have to be somebody local because their main office is in Texas. I said California earlier, but it's Texas.
Okay. We got another approach that we can take to get them down here before the council to
So
talk
you
about
just
the
want
problem.
this carried over to the next meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item 3, application for a lounge retail liquor Class 2 package license doing business as Quick Stop Liquor Store, 4295 Atlanta Highway.
Okay, is there a representative for Quick Stop Atlanta Highway in the audience? Please come forward. All right, seeing none, Mr. Graham.
I'm gonna move to deny this.
All right, have a motion to deny. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous, resolution is denied. Item 4, discussion regarding delinquent business license and sales tax.
All right, this is, I think we talked to revenue earlier. This basically, when we have a tremendous problem, people paying their business license and sales tax. When they get behind, especially if they're in the food prep business, if their money that's gotten tight, then they've let everything lapse. And I've got one that I'm not going to mention name that's got a lot of problems that's in this category, and we do not need them opening up and serving food if some of the things they're doing. So we need a check. At some point, we need them to go back through the whole gamut of getting rechecked, in my opinion. That's what it is. I don't know if that's what we need to meet with revenue, if it's going to be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 6 weeks. But at some point, if you're not going to pay us our sales tax and business license, for you to reopen, we need to run you back and have Kippy and the guys go back and look at it, because I do believe there's some problems with that area also. So we need to have something that's in policy that when they get in trouble, we need to send them through the ringer again to make sure that they're doing anything properly. Because if they're not paying the sales tax, that may not be the only thing they're not doing properly. So CC, I'd say,
Mr. Grimes,
yes, sir.
would it be okay we put this in the Public Safety Committee? No, you got one. What committee did you have?
Yes, small business or business?
Commerce. We'll put this in the Commerce Committee, and then we'll come up with a resolution or ordinance that we can do to.
Sound like a
ask
winner? That's fine.
Ms. Blaylock, so Commerce Committee.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Grimes.
Item 5, resolution approving the selected vendor for the One Stop Shop Small Business Support Program from the Montgomery Thrive Initiative.
All right. We had explanation on what we're doing with this from Ms. Kennedy in the earlier meeting today. Ask for a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Thank you, Mr. Grimes. All in favor, please raise your hand. We item number 4.
Unanimous.
Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Item 6, resolution revoking the business license of Vibes LLC, 5761 Atlanta Highway, and setting a show cause hearing for April the 16th.
Okay. Representative for One Stop in the audience, please come forward.
This is not the hearing, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, all right. So we
You
need a
just
motion.
adopt this one, and then the hearing will be April the 16th.
April 16th. All right. Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 7, resolution revoking the business license of Stakeout 1008 at 2930 Carter Hill Road and setting a show cause hearing for April the 16th.
Okay. Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 8, resolution revoking the business license of Envy Ultra Lounge, also known as Reset Montgomery at 3439 McGee Road, and setting a show cause hearing for April the 16th.
Okay. Need a motion to suspend the rules. Item number 8.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 9 has been withdrawn.
Okay.
Item 10.
Madam Clerk, hold
Yes,
for a
sir.
second before we go. On on item 6, 7, and 8, if you're in the audience, this saying that we're asking for a show cause hearing on April the 16th to come up and discuss your business license while it shouldn't be revoked. So if you're here tonight, it's not for the public hearing, it's for you to come back on April the 16th. All right? Thank you.
As I said, number 9 has been withdrawn. Item 10, resolution revoking the business license of SS Auto Cars, 1245 Old Lamar Road, and setting a show cause hearing for April the 16th.
All right, need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 11, application for a restaurant retail liquor license doing business as B Top Spot, 1961 Bell Street.
Okay? This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. I have Mary King and Christy Tyree.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
My name is Mary King, and I represent the Homeview, Balmatch, and West End area. We've had so many problems with alcohol beverages out there and liquor license. We were down here last year for the Truth Bar and Grill. Same thing happened. And I appreciate what you all did for us. You asked them not to open, well, they could open if it was just a restaurant, but not liquor license. But I need to tell you tonight that Thursday through Sundays, you cannot get across the bridge from Birmingham Highway all the way to Day Street to Hill Street. And if it's just one person in those cars, it's over capacity for that place. And There have been shootings and things down there, and we do not want any other businesses in the area to receive liquor license. We've been here before with this, and we advocate that for our community. If they wish to open a restaurant, it's fine, but no liquor license. We oppose liquor license for that area.
All right.
Questions? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, but it motivates me because we pay our taxes here, and I'm motivated, and you can see that we strongly feel we're against it, and you worked with us to close one down, so I'm asking, why would they want to move a bar from another place to our area? Why don't they stay where they are? What was the reason why they're moving from one area trying to come to our area with a liquor license?
Ms. King, may I, Mr. President?
Ms. Johnson, it's the owners for number 11. Please come forward and you just wait for it. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
Ms. King, they were actually in my district. They were in between Sheridan Heights and Brookview, two very established older neighborhoods, and we had no issues with them. With their liquor license, they talked with the community, they did different things with the community, they're actually doing an Easter egg hunt. So we've never had any issues, and they've been there. Only reason they're leaving is because the building was sold. That's it. We would have gladly kept it.
I'm sorry that the building was sold. I wish it was still there so they can have it there.
Yeah, we wouldn't mind keeping it.
All right, any other comments from Ms. King?
I have a question.
Mr. Pruitt?
Ms. King, did you say that there's a bar over there that we gave a license to?
That you
asked
all
them not to sell alcohol, and they're
denied
selling
the
alcohol?
license to Truth Bar and Grill, 300 Air Base Boulevard. And Thursday through Sundays, you cannot hardly get up Day Street. Sundays is an inconvenience for coming from the three churches in that area. Yes, sir, Mr. Pruitt.
And they're selling alcohol?
They are still operating.
But,
Mr. President,
Mr. Mitchell?
So, Mr. Pruitt, you have to understand that they have the right. They go in front of the ABC board. If we deny their beer or wine, they can go in front of the ABC board and they can get granted.
Is that what happened?
And also, they go in front of the judges and they can also.
Is that what happened?
Yes, I think.
On this one?
I think that was happening with True Bar and Grill.
Well, Mr. Mitchell, I have checked constantly with the Alabama Alcohol Beverage Board, and to their knowledge, what they've told me telephonically, that there is no one even operating that business with a liquor license. So I would like for that to be checked out, please.
I think they had a transfer of license, because you can do a transfer of license.
Can you transfer liquor license?
Yes, ma'am. You can do a transfer. You could sell your LLC and do a transfer. Yes, ma'am. You can.
But transfer has to be approved by this council, correct, Stacy?
That's correct.
If any license is transferred, it has to be approved by us. How do we find out if this place actually does have a license and/or, a restaurant lounge license? Not the place we're talking about, but the other one.
I understand what we're saying, but we're gonna move. We're talking about number 11, which is Top Cat LLC, not Truth. They're not here. I'm coming back to you. They're not here. We're not talking about Truth, whatever that situation is with the ABC licensing board. If you're reporting to the ABC board that they're operating without a liquor license, it's up to the ABC board to go out and check that and shut that down, because they're supposed to be buying their liquor through the ABC board. So that's where we're at with that. I want to hear your information about the establishment at Top Cat at 1961 Bell Street.
Hey,
Top
okay.
Cat.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to you, Mr. Pruitt.
I know, but hang on. Can she come back up at the end of the meeting? Because if she comes down here and's got a problem with something, we need to figure it out.
Thank you,
she doesn't
sir.
have to come back.
Right.
And can she come back at the end of the meeting, Mr. Callen?
I think we have 10 minutes aside, right? So what time? Yeah, she can come back once they speak to the owner.
When we get done with all this, she will come back.
Thank you for your kindness.
Mr. President,
Mr. Mitchell.
and I read.
Hold up, let me finish from the opposer first. Ms. Tyree?
I am really bad at this.
Relax.
But I felt like I needed to say something. I have had the mobile home park behind the Old Tony's Pizza restaurant building, that I'm sure all of y'all know, for 20 years. I've spent probably close to $300,000 rejuvenating this thing so that it is all nice family homes. I have 31 families that I'm responsible for in that park, okay? At one time, we had a bar next door to us. And it was a nightmare, okay? And I don't begrudge anybody. I'm a small businesswoman, been a small businesswoman for the last 25 years, okay? Finally, West End is coming around. I was there when we got the Bell Street, four lanes. We've got the water park. We've got all kinds of things coming, okay? But we do have residential there. We do have families there with children, okay? A restaurant is great. I would love to see a restaurant there. And we've had restaurants there. They didn't have to have liquor license. But what happens is when they get a liquor license and they stay open late, then all of a sudden, I've got people wandering through my mobile home park, knocking on doors, accidents out front, things in the parking lot going on, and I'm just asking that we not have a liquor license there. That's all I'm asking.
Mr. President?
Thank you, Mr.
okay.
Tyree.
Mr. President?
Mr. Mitchell.
Ms. Tyree, I think Whitewaters has a restaurant as well that serves alcohol.
It does.
Have anybody been knocking on your door since or out
No,
of the community?
no, but
So-
this is 2 doors down
Yeah,
from me.
but it's still the same thing. Still a restaurant that sells alcohol.
Right.
And that's the only problem I see. When we did Whitewaters, I didn't see anybody come down here to oppose Whitewater restaurant. Same thing, having alcohol.
Yeah, and if
my
it's
thing
a
is,
restaurant closing at normal hours, like 9, 10 o'clock at night,
Yeah,
where it
but-
doesn't turn into a bar.
But if you look at Applebee's, where is Applebee's? Applebee's are about neighborhoods, correct?
Yes,
Applebee's stay open what time?
yes. I have no idea.
Exactly, but we don't complain about Applebee's.
Yeah.
And Applebee's right by our neighborhood, because it's
I
called
guess what my problem
Applebee's
is.
neighborhood, is right by neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I'm saying, that before we even give, just like we give a license, we can take a license back, but before we even give a person the opportunity to explain what he's doing, we always oppose to small business.
And
He's local. He's not a out of state, out of city. He's right here. He stay off of Bell. He's right here. So if it's an incident that occurs, he's right there. That's the only thing I ask the council, that we be
I guess
mindful of
my
what we do.
problem is because we had a bar next door that wasn't controlled. Okay, I don't know if any of y'all remember the Cowboys bar, but it was just a nightmare. And I just wanted to express my
ma'am.
concerns as to having a bar that close to my residential area.
Mr. President?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tyree.
Yes.
All right, come on up, the owners for the restaurant B-Top spot. All right, go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
I just want to express thanks to Ms. Tyreek for coming up, because you are very close in proximity. Homeview, not so much, but Ms. Tyreek is very much close to the proximity. And I want to be clear, you said 31. Sheridan Heights and Brookview, if you don't know, we have over 1,000 residents, and I had no issue, so I want you to know. And like Mr. Oronde Mitchell stated, that Whitewater does have an alcohol license, and I want you to know that more development is coming. And so I just want you to get comfortable with that, because more development, more alcohol, more food, which is good, and it'll be something more offered for you. But I just want you to know that, and we want that, right? And I understand your concern, but I will let you know that we had no issues. Now, I can't speak for the restaurant that was prior to. This is different ownership. So I ask that you give them an opportunity, and like Mr. Mitchell stated, call us and let us know if anything is different and anything changes. And I think initially Sheridan Heights and Brookview packed the house out because they didn't want it either, right? Because it's dead smack in the middle off a highway, right? But they talked, they went to neighborhood association meetings, they were actively and still are actively engaged. So I ask that you give them a chance. But I just looked and see the proximity for each neighborhood, but I do understand your proximity. But Ms. Ma'am in Homeview, Ms. King, it's not even close enough to have an effect on you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Go ahead. State your name for the record.
James Bennett.
James Bennett. All right. Go ahead and talk to us about what you're trying to do here at this location.
Well, again, we're trying to do a restaurant. I had like Ms. Marche said, that we had a business over on the north side of town for 3 years now. We didn't have any altercations, any bad reviews as far as crime or anything like that. I was kind of forced to relocate, seeing that I had to, someone bought the building that it was renting out. So I found this building, and for me, it was a better spot. It's bigger. I feel like we have adequate parking. We shouldn't have any traffic interference as far as, blocking and things. We have security cameras, for the late night, so we can aid in a bit the police if needed as far as security cameras, and it should deter crime as well. Again, we've been here for 3 years and we haven't had any issues, and I assure you that we're going to continue to do good business and not have any issues moving forward.
All right, thank you. Your name, sir?
Robert Taylor.
Okay, you want to speak?
Yes. I know Mr. Bennett very well. I've been a patron at his other location. Things were nice. But what I want to accent are the positives that he's going to add to the city. For one, he's going to be hiring 30 employees. That adds to employment in Montgomery. I was at the place yesterday. The accommodations are superb, very spacious. I walked off the parking lot. He has parking for some 50 vehicles. That's way more than adequate. The area where he's locating is pretty dormant. And I think his restaurant will add tremendous value. And in fact, I went on base. I'm a retired military person. And I looked from on base at what his establishment looks like. And it makes a significant positive footprint in that area. And as we know, Maxwell is dominated by TDY personnel. We're talking young people that are coming in and out for schools and training. I've been stationed in places where I would love to have had a restaurant, not bar, but restaurant where I could get a drink as well, such as what he's going to do. As he mentioned, the surveillance is tremendous. I'm aware of a bar and grill that aided the police in an incident where someone came from a location afar and committed a crime in front of the restaurant. But because of the cameras that were in place, this business was able to assist the police in bringing whomever committed that crime to justice. I think we need a restaurant of this caliber. He's going to be serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we have establishments throughout Montgomery that do the same. So I think it would be an added attraction and a compliment even to Whitewater that is down the street. As we know, it's located on Maxwell Boulevard. That's a thoroughfare. You could have people committing crimes in other parts of the city using that thoroughfare as a getaway advantage. With his cameras, he would be able to, cameras running 24/7, he could assist the police in bringing folks to justice who may be committing crimes in other areas. But there's one more thing I want to make and I'll be done. He has a footprint, he has a personality, he has the clientele. So therefore, he expects no different than what he had before, maybe even more of, to patronize him at this location. So the fear of who's going to be coming and what type of people they're going to be, law-abiding or not, he's already cleared that hurdle. And knowing Mr. Bennett, he's not going to tolerate anything less. So we are some distance from the trailer, from the mobile home park. I walked it off. I don't see where there'd be any interference. And if he's going to be controlling his crowd and insisting that when people leave his restaurant, they head out of the area. And we've had that experience with one location. I think we can do it again. So I think it would be something to add value to Montgomery on that side of town. And I'm all in favor and will continue to be a patron.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. President, I have something to say.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
y'all,
Go ahead.
council, for
Ms.
speaking,
Riley.
but it's District 4. I will not be suspending the rules tonight because I've asked for some paperwork that I need to see, and it would be carried over.
All right. All right. The item will be carried over for 2 weeks, so you guys come back in 2 weeks. I'm gonna speak before the item has been carried over. Well, I'll speak at the next meeting. Thank you, it's been carried over.
Close your public hearing, Mr. President.
Okay, public hearing has been held. It's proper for the council. Need a motion to suspend the rules?
She just made the motion to carry it over, so
Okay, but I still didn't get the rules suspended. I need to get the rules suspended before I can carry it over.
okay, but you know she's going to suspend it.
Okay, she didn't suspend it, so it's carried over.
Okay.
Thank you. Keep me straight, brother.
I'll suspend the rules to carry it over.
No, you good. You didn't suspend the rules, so good. All right, next item.
Item 12, resolution reappointing Jerry Kaiser to the Montgomery Airport Authority.
All right, need a motion? Ms. Beard?
I make a motion to adopt this
suspend the rules.
resolution, to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Motion to adopt.
8, we have,
All right, we want to reconsider. I need a motion to suspend the rules.
let's put the hands up again because Mr. Mitchell was late in putting his hands up. Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 13, resolution appointing Andre T. Mitchell to the Montgomery Airport Authority.
I need a motion.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 14, resolution appointing Chelsea Martin to the Montgomery Clean City Commission.
Motion to suspend the rules?
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt?
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 15, pursuant to Section 1153D1 Code of Alabama, authorization of demolition of unsafe structures at the listed location.
Okay, does anyone in the audience want to speak to the council on item 15, properties 467 South Hope Street and 20 Hauser Street? Seeing none, need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Just need a motion to uphold.
Motion to uphold.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item 16, resolution declaring, authorizing, and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots.
All right, need a motion to suspend the rules?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right, any contingency fund, Ms. Blaylock, from your desk?
Yes, sir, I do, and I only have one. Mr. Reed, you'll have to approve these for the mayor, but it's for District 3, $570 to the Sheridan Heights Neighborhood Association, and they are
Approved.
All right, Ms. Blaylock, I want to add something for District 5.
Yes, sir.
$1,000 to the next level volleyball,
Okay.
and I got one more. If anybody else want to go while I look up that one more, go ahead.
Ms. Blaylock, I'd like to do $1,000 to next level volleyball.
To next level.
Yep.
Okay.
Ms. Blaylock, do 1,000 from District 2 for next level, please.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yes. Me too, Ms. Blaylock.
1,000.
Yes, ma'am. Out of District 9. Take mine out of District 9. There's zero in
You wish
it.
you could do that.
Ms. Blaylock,
You wished you could do that. Mr. Grimes?
$1,500 to East Y.
East YMCA?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And my last one, Ms. Blaylock, is $1,000 to Project to Uplift. We spoke on that one, I think, this
Project Uplift.
Project to Uplift, 1,000.
Okay.
All right. Need a motion for approval.
Move to approve.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Mr. Reed, you okay with these, the vendors?
Approved.
It's
yes.
okay.
Unanimous.
Don't get
All
the
right.
cart before the horse.
All right, anything else from the council?
I got,
Yes. Madam Clerk, whichever one you want to read first.
Okay. Resolution requiring majority vote in order for Alabama legislature to consider proposed changes to Act 618 or any standing laws, resolutions, ordinances, or procedures germane to the city of Montgomery.
I'm passing that down to you guys, and we'll carry it over for next council meeting.
Okay. The next one is resolution requesting an AG's opinion regarding use of off-duty police officers to enforce traffic laws within the city limits due to limited manpower and resources at this time.
Council, I wanted to go ahead and vote on this. We've talked about it before, and I've talked to Stacy about it. We just agree to disagree on some things, so I wanted to get an AG's opinion on if we can actually enforce traffic laws with off-duty police officers. So move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Any other council member have anything?
yeah, I do. We had an incident at the Skywalk. Could we bring them in for review, Ms. Blaylock? Because we need to see what all's going on out there if we can.
Skywalk, is that the,
Was Rocky Jump,
okay, I know where you're talking about now, off of Atlanta Crossings.
correct?
You want to bring them in just for review?
Yeah, I think so. We got, well, I don't know.
You want a show call?
Let's do show calls, because I need to see how many calls have been out there.
You're going to have to give me a list of incidences in order to we
Okay.
have to have the charges against them in order for them to be able to defend themselves.
Sounds like a winner. Well, I will get those in the police department.
Okay.
Mr. President, I have something.
Go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pro Tem. I just want to make it known to the public. I don't know the entire public knows this or not, but we recently partnered with the Central Alabama Community Foundation in order to have classes to the public, to nonprofits, on how to apply for city council contingency funds. We get bombarded with requests, and our budget is only so big, right? But we've put some money to the side to do a grant, and this way it teaches you how to apply for a grant and how to be a sustainable organization. The grant actually opened on March 4th, and it's on the Central Alabama Community Foundation's website, and we'll be hosting some training. It'll be held on April 2nd and April the 11th at 2 p.m. here at City Hall in the old council chambers. If you are currently a vendor, a nonprofit vendor with the City of Montgomery, or a previous vendor, you should have received the email by now. Hope that you all attend, because this is something that I think the community really needs education on. And we have so many nonprofits and a lot of nonprofits that do the same work in the community, and we want to support the nonprofits, but we don't want to continuously send out funds to do the operating expenses of any organization. So it's important that you know how to do this and why you need to do this. So again, April 2nd, April 11th, 2 p.m., City Council, Old Chambers. That's where the meeting will be, and I hope to see you all there. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Mr. President.
Mr. Mitchell.
I have a couple of things. First thing, Ms. Blaylock, I would like to bring infusion for a review. Second thing, Mr. President, we had a shooting in my district at one of the apartment complexes that we have pressed. We filed a lawsuit. I think that particular apartment complex did not have a business license. It was so much shooting that it reached to the next street on Whispering Pines. I think the individuals that lived out there told me they heard maybe about 100 shots. And this is the same apartment complex that I have been fighting. And I'm asking the city, I'm begging the city, let's do more, because like I said, a young man lost his life in that apartment complex over the weekend. And those are one of the apartment complexes that those owners don't care about us. So I have to make sure that we're doing everything for us, the city, to ensure that we have a place, a safe place. When I say 2 houses on the next street were shot up, cars were shot up due to the type of guns that they had at that one apartment complex. So I'm begging the city, please move forward with this lawsuit that we are filing against those 3 apartment complexes. One other thing, Mr. President, I'd like to create a committee of 1. I want to look back at the impounding and towing for the city of Montgomery.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mitchell. We'll work on that.
Committee of 1?
I just like to make a committee.
We'll put it in the committee in our next committee.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
Mr. President, Councilor Mitchell reminded me, I wanted to create a task force for the after-school care and out-of-school time for child care and our youth. I know we recently, like last year, I talked about actually having a curfew for juveniles. But after our recent visit to National League of Cities Conference, I learned a few more things and tools that we can put in our toolbox to assist with that out-of-school time. And so I would like to create a committee, or we can put it in the public safety committee.
We'll sign it in a committee on our next meeting, and we'll get that started. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mr. President.
Any other member? All right. I'm going to make a statement before we get to this public communication roster, and it's just something that I observed. And we talk about how we grow Montgomery, whatever area that we're talking about, and we'll find out in this council, we just had a minority man come up here to open a business that's locating from another location within the city of Montgomery with no problems. And we held it up because of some situation where we're talking about what we don't want in a community. But we get the same calls day in and day out about, we need this in my community. When you're talking about a restaurant with a restaurant lounge license or a liquor license, it's just like an Applebee's or not IHOP or everything that we go out east. Every restaurant out east sells alcohol, beer, and wine. So when we try to put limitation in, we wonder when we come back why our community is not growing. It's not growing because we want to fight everything that comes in the community. Instead of giving people an opportunity, this council grants license, takes back license. That's what we're here for, a legal to set the license, to set the stage as we go forward. And I'm gonna follow the process. I'll follow the leadership of the district, but I'm just telling you, when it comes to things, what we want within our community, it's not based on what you want. We gotta look at the welfare of this community, the tax base of this city as we move forward. And if we're gonna pick and choose the businesses that we do, Mr. Mitchell made a great statement. Whitewater is right up the street. Truth is not what we're talking about on the other thing. And I respect Ms. Riley and the council person for that district. But when it comes to how we move Montgomery forward and minority participation, what goes on in this city, we got to be careful what we do in the precedent that we set here at this council. And I wanted to make that statement before we get into our public communication for non-agenda items. I have Ms. Gina Smith. Ms. Gina Smith.